So welcome back. So I was telling you that an old friend. I came across an old friend at Uhuru Park, and this guy had been totally beaten by alcohol, you know, and I invited him for a drink and he declined. I was so surprised. These are not the guys that you offer a drink and they say no, because we used to meet occasionally in Nairobi town, and he was also in the insurance industry, and we would drink. You'd drink behind those alcohols found behind the back street. Yeah. So this time around, he declined and I got supplies. So he took me into a support group. He invited me into a support group, and there I found some guys seated around in a round circle, in a certain room in a certain church. And initially I was so resentful, because I thought he had taken me to another church thing. But he was gracious enough to explain to me that it wasn't a church thing. It was a group of people who were struggling with, a support group for people who were struggling with addiction. So when the meeting started, I started hearing people introducing themselves as recovering alcoholic addicts. I could not understand, and people sharing their stories, their struggles with alcohol, and the stories were similar to mine. And I came to learn, one thing I came to learn is that addiction is not a disgrace. It is a disease, and it is a disease that affects body, mind, and spirit. Yeah, I came to learn that the body of alcoholic is not like normal people. It has an allergy. There are people who eat eggs and their body reacts. There are people who eat meat and their body reacts. And there are people who take alcohol and other mood-altering substance, be it alcohol, bangi, drugs, jamba, all those things, and their body start reacting. They develop a craving, and this craving ensures that the person, the body asks for more and more and more. It's like taking salt water. The more you take salt water, the more you become thirsty. That's how a body of alcoholic or a drug addict is. The more he takes the drug of his choice or alcohol, the more the body crave for it. And again, that's it. That's how the body is affected by this disease. Actually, it is a disease. It's a threefold disease. It affects body, mind, and spirit. And that answer gave me an answer why every time I would start using drug or alcohol, I could not stop because of that allergy. Allergy kept ensuring that I kept drinking no matter. And you see, the more I drank, the more I was destroying my body. That's why you see people who are drinking too much, people who continue drinking, it gets toll on their body. The body starts shrinking. The impact of drinking is physically manifesting in the body. The other thing I came to learn is that the mind of an alcoholic is not like normal people. We develop what we call OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. That means there are so many thoughts, persistent thoughts, streams of thoughts, that uncontrollable streams of thought about the drug of our choice. Where will I get the next dose? Where will I get the money to buy alcohol? With the alcohol I have with me enough to take me all the way up tomorrow, or up to evening. Because there is nothing as dangerous and destabilizing like an addict who don't have the drug of his choice. We become restless, irritable, and discontent. And until we take the drug of our choice, be it alcohol or weed, we become very irritable. But the thing is, when we take, now we start getting what we call self-pity. Poor me, why am I taking? Why can't I be like any other person? Why is life not working for me? Why am I having problem with other people? Why can't I be like normal people? All those things, am I bewitched? Why is it God? Why God is not even hearing my prayers? We become even defiant to God. If you tell me to pray, I'm like, why should I even pray? I've been praying and God doesn't seem to hear me. All those things, that are pain deep inside. If you're going through that, my friend, I feel you. But one thing I'm telling you is that there is a solution. So I also came to learn that this disease affects spiritually. Spiritually, these are people who are addicts and alcoholic. They develop what we call dishonesty, manipulation, all those emotional disturbances. Dishonesty, manipulation, manipulative, and all those things, garbage of emotional, spiritual corruption. Yeah. So we are not able to connect with God in the right way, you see. And there's nobody plays sincere player like an addict or alcoholic. Their prayer are very sincere. Addiction, there's nothing as so depressing like feeling like you are drowning in a drug of your choice and you don't know how to get out, and people don't seem to understand you. You hear people telling you, why can't you drink like your friends? Your friends are drinking, their work life is going well. For you it's destroying your health. You can't even stop. Your friends at 8, they are at home with their family. For you are just there in the bar, changing from one bar to another, drinking all your salary, selling things for you to get money to drink or to gabble or those things. It's very depressing. And even and there you are, you don't even understand what is happening to you. And what do? You just become, you start isolating. So another aspect is that this disease is a disease of isolation. Yeah, and the people I used to associate with the people who are like me, who are drinking like me. And you see, I could go to a den and drink, and then when people start pointing me out and we are in a bar that I'm drinking, my drinking is not normal, I'll just move, go look for people who are more worse than me. And before I realize, I'm even more worse than them, and that's why people go down the drain from one level to another. Yeah, it becomes worse. It's like drowning in a river. I'm drowning in a river and I don't know how to get out. Yeah, and again, another aspect of this disease of addiction is that it's a disease of denial. Yeah, I used to see like everybody is against me, but I didn't see that my addiction was the problem. I used to hear people is like they are against me. I used to give myself blame, excuses. If it were not for this person, if it were not for the job, if it was not for this, I would stop. But one thing I knew is that it's not today. It was never today. It was like some days I'll figure it out. But one thing I'm telling you, this disease is a dangerous disease. It's a killer disease. And this disease, if not well managed, some people end up in jail because they end up committing crimes. Maybe somebody raped somebody when drunk, or even abused a child. Somebody stole money, to get money to drink, or all manner of crime can come out of trying to get out of this disease of addiction. The other way is that people end up dying. That's another area. You either end up to jail or die. People are dying of liver cirrhosis. People are dying of accident, driving when drunk, people are dying of heart attack, people are dying of overdose. People are dying of violence, all those things. The other one is to become now a mad person, cheesy, you end up in Madare, you end up in Asylum, all those places, Those are the 3 places known if this disease is not arrested, if it's not managed. But there is a solution. There is a solution. Just like the way people get introduced to alcohol and drugs by friends, you can also, the people who are struggling with addiction are supported to get out of that habit, to break that cycle of addiction by friends who have gone through that journey, and came out. There is a solution. Don't die alone, don't die alone. There is a solution. After I sobered up, after my friend supported me in this journey of one day at a time, by God's grace, I went back to school. I did counseling, diploma in counseling, and after that I'm now pursuing a degree in counseling, and I've also written several books, and one of the book I've written is Saved from Addiction for a Higher Calling. It has all my story and all that journey, out how I got in, what is addiction and how it affects the body, mind, and spirit, and how my friends supported me to get out of that until I became I connected with my life purpose. I've written 10 books. And one thing I'll tell you for sure is that those people who get addicted, they are genius. Yeah, look around you. Ukitaka fundi msuri wa simu ni mlevi. Ukitaka driver msuri ni mlevi. If you wanted somebody masonry ni mlevi. Electrician ni mlevi. The best teacher ni mlevi, you know. Hata preso msuri. And I'm not against anybody. Anaweza kuwa mlevi. Yeah, these are genius. These are people who are helping people with, once they sober up, they become very useful in our society. These are people who are carrying solution to the problems that we are going through. So these people need a lot of love, a lot of care. So if you are living with an alcoholic or drug addict, unaweza mdharau, but maybe one day he'll become your rescuer, you know. One day, don't overlook your neighbor's son because he's a drug addict or alcoholic. He may sober up and one day turn out to help your child. So my friends, thank you so much. I'm starting classes, addiction classes, and very soon I'll be inviting you for Zoom classes to walk this journey out of addiction. And I'm inviting those people who are struggling with addiction, also those people who are living with addiction. I'm inviting parents, I'm inviting teachers, people who really want to be a support to be a support to our society, because addiction and alcoholism is drowning more people than rivers, lakes, ocean, floods combined. And we need to do something. We need to wake up, and this is our time. Yes, we can change this. By God's grace, one day at a time, we will change it, because God is fighting for us. God is doing for us what we cannot do for ourselves. All we need is to show up, take an action one day at a time, and the rest we leave it to God. Thank you so much. May God bless you.